Hello, dear students. So, in today's lecture, we'll discuss a literary form of poetry, the dramatic monologue. Okay. So, what is dramatic monologue? The very two words describe its characteristics or its features. Dramatic means it has been derived from drama. Okay, plays, or the second term monologue means a speech by the single speaker or single person. Okay, so what is dramatic monologue is uh, is a poetic form in which there is a single speaker who utters the whole of the poem, okay, at some critical moment, okay, of his life. So there are few things which we are to keep in mind, okay, while dealing with this poetic form or while discussing this poetic form. So there are four main features. The first thing, that dramatic monologue is a speech by single person, single character. But what is to be kept in mind is that that character might be a fictional character or a historical one, but that character is not the poet himself. The poet is different from the character who is speaking in the poem. Okay, definitely. And that character, the speaker, might be a fictional or historical character. And that the second thing is, the whole speech or the monologue is addressed to some listener, okay, to some audience, the silent audience, which might comprise a single person or a number of persons, okay. And the presence of the listener has been the presence of the listener can be felt by the very words used in the poem, by the very speech uttered by the speaker, okay. And the third thing is, what is the third thing? Dramatic monologue. So dramatic, the whole speech uttered by the character, okay, is addressed, is pointed to certain psychic, we can say, revelation of the speaker. Okay, means the speaker expresses, the speaker reveals his psyche, his temperament, his character through the speech. Okay, and the thing is, the speech that is the next thing is the dramatic. Okay, the speech is uttered at a particular moment. Okay, at a critical moment. Okay, where which dramatically, we can say, focuses the life, the complete life, or the very temperament, or the type of person the speaker or the character is. Okay, and this very form has been popularized and perfected by a 19th century Victorian poet, the renowned Victorian poet Robert Browning, who wrote many dramatic monologues. Okay, dramatic monologue. What is the particularity of dramatic monologue? Dramatic monologues give the poet complete freedom, because the poet distances himself, and the character or the speaker speaks, we can say, independently. Okay, and it also has the qualities of play or drama. Okay, and for example, we have many examples. For example, we have famous dramatic monologues by Browning, like My Last Duchess, which is there in our syllabus in BA second year. Other, it's Fra Lippi, The Last Ride Together, Enda del Sarto, etc. Okay, and dramatic monologue is very much like a soliloquy. Okay, so a typical device is used in plays or in dramas, that is known as soliloquy, where a single speaker or single character utters a speech, or talks to himself or herself. Okay, but that very speech is addressed to nobody. Okay, the speech is addressed to the speaker himself. But in the case of dramatic monologue, the very speech or the monologue is addressed, okay, so to some silent listeners, okay. So this is dramatic monologue. So we can read, the dramatic monologue is dramatic because it is the utterance of an imaginary character or a fictional character and not the poet himself. And because the character is developed not through any description of the part of the poet but through a conflict between the opposite thoughts and emotions of the characters himself. When the poet distances himself, and it is the character himself who reveals his personality, okay, through various thoughts, various emotions, various accents he presents in the very speech. Okay, so I think this is all we can understand, or we can talk about dramatic monologue. So there are too many examples. We can to illustrate it to some further extent. We can analyze the case of my last Duchess, a famous, one of the most, we can say, renowned poems or dramatic monologues written by Robert Browning. Okay, in which in this monologue, my last Duchess, the speaker is the Duke of Frara. Okay, and who is the addressee, a messenger, okay, a messenger of the count or of a neighboring count is the listener in the poem. Okay, who has come to the speaker, who has come to the duke for the marriage proposal of the duke's daughter. Okay, and through the very speech the duke utters, or the very speech the duke addresses to this messenger, we as readers come to realize what kind of character the duke is. Okay, so the duke reveals his personality, that he is very we can say very very proud, very haughty, greedy, cruel, okay, and domineering and possessive kind of man, or a kind of husband. And it also reveals the character or the psyche or the temperament of the duchess. Okay, that the readers come to know that duchess is a very simple hearted, okay, very good hearted lady, okay, very innocent lady, who loves everything, okay, who admires the very life. But on the other hand, the duke is very suspicious of his wife, and he gets her murdered. So, dramatic monologue. So, Browning, this is, we can say, dramatic monologue was the favorite poetic form for Robert Browning. Okay, so this is all. Thanks a lot.